Here they go. Number one, if the justice system kept failing and kept letting go a known murderer free out in the fucking street, okay? Because the justice system kept fucking up. And everybody knew this guy was a murderer. Would you play the role of vigilante? Meaning, would you just go up and blow his head off?
I am generally against capital punishment, but if it is clear this person cheated justice, and if I had personally witnessed the murder or murders firsthand, therefore knew the suspect was guilty, and that he did not kill in his own self-defense, and that his actions were clearly not unique to one specific incident, then I would act in the interest of the greater good.
Number two, if there was going to be a religious war, and you came face to face with a family member who was religious, would you pull the trigger?
No. Given the time and opportunity, I would disarm and apprehend my family member, or otherwise incapacitate through non-lethal means. Furthermore, I do not see anyone from my family, good Christians as many of them are, taking up arms in a holy civil war with atheists such as myself.
Number three, what would you do or how would you react if your government told you to leave your home and had your family dispersed all throughout the country to never be seen again? What would you do in that situation?
My first course of action would be to create media attention. Such a story would have me on shows like Glenn Beck within a week or so. If public scrutiny did not stop the government's lust for my property, then I will actively seek a new government.
Number four, what would it take for you to say to the government, enough is fucking enough, and for you to join a revolutionary organization? What would it take for make you join one of those organizations? For real. How far would the government have to go?
Besides such direct affronts to my personal liberties, as discussed in question 3, if my government were to make a major shift in its social or economic systems away from liberty, such as conservatives successfully making the U.S. a officially Christian nation, or liberals officially turning us into full-blown socialist, people-democratic United States, then I would join a revolutionary organization.
Number 5. What would be the first thing you would do if one day you found a red X on your mailbox, just to notice that all your neighbors had green X's, and knowing that the red X meant your demise? What would you do?
I would quickly leave in the short term, but after some digging, if the threat came out to be just civilians, I would hand the information I gained over to the authorities. But if the threat came from the government, I would join a revolutionary organization.
Number 6. Pick one famous person you would let out of jail. Name that person. In trade for 2 famous people who should be in jail. And name those 2 people.
I would release the opposition leader of Burma in the hopes of ending the reign of the military junta there. I would imprison former President George W. Bush for violating the U.S. Constitution by overstepping the boundaries of executive power as outlined therein, specifically for the approval of torture and unwarranted wiretapping of American phones. I would also imprison sitting President Barack Obama for violating the U.S. Constitution by overstepping the boundaries of executive power as outlined therein, specifically for firing a CEO of a private company and dictating of the terms of said company's bankruptcy settlement. The U.S. Constitution does not expressly give the federal executive the power to interfere in the affairs of a private corporation. And while there are such things as implied powers, most implied powers belong to the state and local governments, and these do not include the ability to fire a CEO of a private company.